Welcome to the Unpopped Review, movie reviews from a movie lover and not a movie critic. In today's review, a little Hart teams up with a Big Johnson. This is Central Intelligence. Central Intelligence features Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as CIA agent Bob Stone, who reunites with high school classmate and accountant Calvin, played by Kevin Hart. And they must team up to take down a threat to national security. Let's start by talking about what's good about the movie. Now, the absolute best part of Central Intelligence was the incredible dynamic between Johnson and Hart. And with this comedy duo, I could see many more funny movies to come in the future. I also like how the personalities were different than I would have expected. Going in, I would have thought that Johnson would have been the straight man with Hart being the comedian. But in Central Intelligence, it's the complete opposite. And it really does allow Dwayne Johnson the ability to shine comically. And the last thing I really liked about the movie were the bloopers and the cameos. Throughout the movie, there were a number of cameos, and at the end, during the credits, there was a blooper reel. Unfortunately, these were the funniest parts of the movie. And when the funniest part of the comedy are not the leads, it's kind of a mess. Now let's move on to the story. Now, I know a comedy doesn't need to have a good plot, doesn't need to have a good story, but it does definitely help. And unfortunately, in Central Intelligence, the plot was completely predictable. And because of the predictability, the tension in the final scenes was completely absent. So with that, let's move on to the ugly. First, let's talk about the jokes. Now, there were definitely a few jokes that I consider chuckle-worthy, but unfortunately, like most comedies, the funniest ones were actually featured in the trailer. And the jokes that weren't featured in the trailer were mainly dick jokes. Now, I guess I should have expected it with the tagline of the movie being a little Hart and a Big Johnson, but it was really way too many. In fact, there's an entire scene when the movie is put on hold just for a dick joke, but that's not all. While the joke is going on, there's another joke happening in the back of the scene, which is once again another dick joke. Probably 90% of the jokes themselves were just dick jokes, and it's just lazy comedy. And honestly, with so many dick jokes and some of the other comedic references that were made, it made me think that the movie was probably initially written to be R-rated. But then when Dwayne Johnson was cast, it was rewritten to be PG-13. And that's because Dwayne Johnson is naturally an actor that attracts families. So the weird R-rated humor with the PG-13 rating was honestly a little out of place and a little muddled. Now, since Central Intelligence is a comedy, the only fair way that I can judge it is based on whether I thought it delivered as a comedy. And to some, it definitely will. If you like raunchy R-rated comedies, you probably will like this even with it being watered down to PG-13. But to me, the crude humor and lazy jokes just completely fell flat. And that's why I say for Central Intelligence, you should wait till Redbox. So that's what I thought of Central Intelligence. What did you think? And what is your favorite Dwayne Johnson movie? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember to always keep it unpopped.